Hello everyone, welcome to a new video for XRP price prediction based on Elliott wave analysis. Starting on the 4 days chart here, we have of course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, finished wave A or wave 1, and we're looking at a very long correction, a very complex correction, WX and Y. Your wave Y has finished as a triangle here, finishing with it a wave B or a wave 2, meaning we are in an A, B, and a C toward the upside, or we are in a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse for higher prices, even higher than a wave C. Now currently the targets, the linear targets of course are the 1-to-1 fib level for a wave C 3.6 and 1.618 for a wave 3, which are the 5.76. Now, this scenario here where we have, of course, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would finish, of course, a wave 1 for your main impulse toward the upside, which it might be, of course, a big wave C or a big impulse toward the upside as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Now, this impulse has finished 1, 2, 3, and currently you are in the wave 4, potentially finished, and you're looking for a wave 5. Let's move inside it, of course, to see what's going on in there on the 2 hours chart. On the 2 hours chart, we are looking here after this corrective wave, W, X, and a Y. Your wave Y has finished as a B, and a C potentially here, where you have finished a 3 waves towards downside, 3 waves up, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse finished, of course, a wave C. And then you're looking potentially, of course, for a one more leg in bearish. Of course, one more leg toward the downside can lead to the 1.05, which is not touched yet. We're gonna move inside it as well on the 1 hour chart. Or in the bullish scenario, you are looking here for higher prices as a leading diagonal 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, finishing wave 1, having a wave 2, 3 waves, continuation toward the upside for a wave 3, and of course unfolding a main wave 5, which it should be of course a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 impulse toward the upside. Let's move inside it on the 1 hour chart and zoom in. And here we go. Now, what do we have here in this area is definitely a zigzag. ABC toward the upside, a wave 1. You have a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. However, we have to measure right now, of course, the length of this wave 3 if we have passed the 1-to-1 fib level. Obviously, we did not. So if you are in a wave 3 in diagonal, you have hit perfectly the green box, of course, for this scenario. So very nice. So far, we are looking at a very nice wave 3 in a leading diagonal. And of course, you're still looking right now for a 4 and a 5. Now, don't forget that as well, at the same time, for the bearish, you are looking as well at a possible A, B, and a C. So this ABC can be, of course, the 3 ways for the A, 3 ways for the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 for AC as an impulse. Therefore, you're looking after this correction for one more low toward the downside. Meaning currently we are looking at XRP to still, of course, to get the high and then moving toward the downside, potentially, of course, to hit one more time the 1.0.5 fib level, taken from this main correction as A, B, and a C. Potentially, this is your wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. And you would like to see a wave 5, of course, finishing around the 1.05 fib level. And yeah, so let's take a look as well on KGT for XRP. So on the 1 minute chart for KGT on XRP, we can see, of course, inside this move toward the upside, which it should be, of course, the wave 5 toward the upside after 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. We have, of course, a bearish signal here on the 500 strengths, of course, where we can see a convergence with the price action, the same as before we saw a convergence and of course a bearish signal moving directly toward the downside and of course creating kind of like a bullish signal. But yeah, as you can see, it is not divergence as this bullish signal, which is of course a weak signal for the bullish, and now we are followed by a bearish signal. So we have to be careful. We might not even take the high here or this high. We are in convergence with the price action. Be careful that we drop down. Now if the price is going to move according to the Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to take one more time the high here for an impulse finishing the wave 5, well, it can be, of course, that you invalidate this a bearish signal here, and then, of course, start to move towards the downside after it where you have on the 3-minute chart potentially here. As you can see on the 3-minute chart is much more, a little bit much more clearer, where you might of course a little bit move toward the upside, taking the high here, and then of course start to add some pressure with a new bearish signal, which it might be also convergence with this signal here. You can see it of course definitely on the 5-minute time frame here as well. As you can see this signal here, if we take one more bearish signal with it in the top, meaning of course it might create a bearish convergence of course, and moving toward the downside after 3 waves toward the upside. What I mean here, be careful that even without taking the high, it is very, very possible that we move toward the downside, even without closing 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. This can transform simply to 3 waves up for a wave W, 3 waves down for a wave X, 3 waves up for a wave Y, meaning W, X, and a Y. Don't forget also that this can be potentially, which is not nice, but it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 finished impulse in this area with a very shallow wave 4. Based on the time, of course, of the wave 2, you have several candles, while the wave 4 is just one candle. But we cannot, of course, say that it cannot be, because the timing is just a guideline. So be careful. Higher potential, of course, to move towards the downside, whether from this high or even without taking this high, potentially as well that we might move for lower. Now, of course, Elliott wave would like to finish in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I prefer to take one more time the high, finishing a nice impulse, and then moving toward the downside and take it from there and to be reanalyzed. Don't forget, today on X we have updated so far FETCH.AI, FET, and Solana, so don't forget to follow and to watch these quick updates. Thank you for watching, thank you for your likes and comments, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.